What if I told you that while you were sleeping, five nations quietly assembled the largest economic alliance in human history? These countries control 42% of the world's population, command $65 trillion in purchasing power, and are systematically dismantling the American dominated financial system that has ruled the world since 1944. Hi everyone, I'm Priyanka, and today we are diving into the most significant economic shift since World War II, the BRICS revolution. That's Brazil, Russia, India, China, and South Africa. Five nations that started as an investment theory and became a geopolitical earthquake. While Wall Street obsesses over quarterly earnings, these countries are rewriting the rules of global finance. While Europe struggles with energy crisis, the East is building alternative systems. And most importantly, for you watching this, while traditional investors focus on Western markets, the real wealth creation is happening elsewhere. By the end of this video, you'll understand why Goldman Sachs economists are calling this the most important economic realignment in 500 years and how it could dramatically impact your financial future. Let's start with how this all began. Picture this, it's 2001, the dot-com bubble just burst, and a Goldman Sachs economist named Jim O'Neill is analyzing demographic trends. He coins the term BRIC, Brazil, Russia, India, China, as emerging economies that could dominate the 21st century. What he thought was investment research become a blueprint for revolution. Fast forward to September 2008. Lehman Brothers collapses. The global financial system trembles, and Western banks are begging for bailouts. But these emerging giants asked a different question. Why should our prosperity depend on Western stability? The answer came on June 16, 2009 in Yekaterinburg, Russia. Four leaders representing 2.8 billion people sat around a table and decided to create their own rules. Their mission was simple but revolutionary: establish a multipolar world where no single nation dominates, promote South-South cooperation, ensure fair global governance, and pursue sustainable development that lifts all boats. In 2010, South Africa joined, transforming BRIC into BRICS. This wasn't just adding another country, it was gaining access to a continent with 1.3 billion people and untapped resources worth trillions. A regional alliance had become a global force. By 2024, the transformation is complete. BRICS represent 3.2 billion people with a combined GDP of $65 trillion in purchasing power parity, while the G7 represents just 772 million people with $38 trillion in GDP. The student had become the teacher. Here is where BRICS moved from talk to action. In August 2015, while the world focused on China's stock market volatility, something more significant quietly opened in Shanghai, the New Development Bank, with $100 billion in authorized capital. This wasn't just another financial institution, it was a declaration of independence from the World Bank. The results speak for themselves. By 2024, the NDB has approved 95 infrastructure projects across 50 developing nations, with a loan portfolio exceeding $35 billion. From solar farms in Brazil to metro system in India, developing nations proved they could finance their own dreams without Western conditions. But they didn't stop there. The contingent reserve arrangement created a $100 billion emergency fund. Think of it as insurance against financial crises, but without the humiliating austerity conditions typically imposed by the IMF. When traditional institutions demand spending cuts, BRICS offers alternatives. The real revolution, however, is in trade. In 2023 alone, Russia-China trade was conducted 95% in local currencies. India-Russia energy deals were 85% in rupees and rubles, and Brazil-China commerce was 70% dollar-free. This isn't just trade efficiencies, it's economic sovereignty. The numbers are staggering. Inter-BRICS trade has grown from $230 billion in 2009 to $560 billion in 2024, a 143% increase, while global trade growth averaged just 3% annually. Let's break down what each nation brings to this alliance. China, the manufacturing giant, controls 17.8% of global trade worth $3.4 trillion annually and represents 68% of total BRICS GDP. It's the factory floor of the world, but also increasingly the innovation center. India is the services superpower, handling 60% of global IT services while maintaining the youngest population among major economies, with 7.2% annual GDP growth. It is becoming the balancing force that prevents any single nation from dominating BRICS. Russia, despite sanctions, remains the resource fortress. It's redirected 90% of its trade to non-Western partners and leverages energy exports as diplomatic tools. What Western sanctions intended to isolate actually integrated Russia deeper into the BRICS ecosystem. Brazil is the agricultural powerhouse, being the world's largest exporter of soybeans, sugar, and orange juice. During the US-China trade war, Brazil's soybean export to China increased by 47%, turning geopolitical tensions into economic opportunities. South Africa, though the smallest economically, is the gateway to Africa's $2.5 trillion market. It's leading continental integration through the African Continental Free Trade Area, giving BRICS access to the world's youngest and fastest growing continent. Now here is where things get really interesting. The systematic challenge to dollar dominance. For 80 years, the US dollar has been the world's reserve currency, but BRICS is methodically eroding each pillar supporting that dominance. First, oil pricing. Russia now sells oil in rubles and yuan. Iran accepts rupees and Saudi Arabia is considering yuan payments. Second, international reserve. Central banks are diversifying away from dollar into gold and alternative currencies. Third, trade settlements. The M-Breeze payment platform already processes over $12 billion monthly in cross-border payments between BRICS nations without touching the dollar system. The question isn't whether BRICS will create a dollar alternative, it's which alternative will emerge first. They are exploring three pathways: a gold-backed currency for stability, a basket currency like the IMF's SDR for distributed risk, and a central bank digital currency for modern efficiency. Western sanctions on Russia didn't just accelerate this process, they made it urgently practical. When Russia was cut from SWIFT, innovation in alternative payment systems became a survival necessity that now benefits all BRICS nations. Sometimes the best thing that happens to your competition is your competitor's mistakes, and the Trump trade war was BRICS' unexpected gift. US tariffs of up to 25% on $360 billion of Chinese goods didn't just hurt China, they redistributed global trade flows. India became the manufacturing beneficiary, with electronics assembly from Apple and Samsung, pharmaceutical exports surging, and manufacturing's GDP contribution rising from 16% to 20%. Brazil experienced an agricultural windfall, with soybean export to China increasing 47% during the trade war, achieving a record $87 billion agricultural trade surplus. Russia pivoted its energy exports from 30% to 60% towards Asia, reducing European dependence, while the power of Siberia pipeline to China became operational. Trade war didn't weaken BRICS, it strengthened internal trade relationships. The Ukraine conflict created BRICS' first major diplomatic challenge, but also accelerated financial independence. While responses varied, Russia as participant, China as supportive neutral, India abstaining from UN condemnation while buying discounted oil, Brazil calling for peace, and South Africa proposing mediation, the economic integration deepened. Western sanctions became innovation drivers. Shift alternatives were developed. Local currency trading became necessity. Gold reserve increased 35%. New energy partnerships formed and domestic technology capabilities were prioritized. Let's address the elephant in the room: China's dominance within BRICS. With 68% of total BRICS GDP, 72% of inter-BRICS trade, and 78% of BRICS outward investment, China risks creating the internal hegemony that BRICS was formed to counter. This creates fascinating dynamics. India, with the fastest growth rate and youngest demographics, is positioning itself as the balancing force. Brazil leverages its agricultural importance and democratic credentials, while Russia uses energy resources for influence despite sanctions. The 2024 expansion addresses this imbalance. New members Iran, Egypt, Ethiopia, UAE, and Saudi Arabia brings BRICS to 45% of global population, 36% of world GDP, and 42% of global oil production. This isn't just expansion, it's a strategic rebalancing that dilutes individual member dominance while increasing collective power. But challenges remain. Different political systems, from Chinese authoritarianism to Indian democracy to Brazilian populism, create coordination difficulties. Economic development gaps between China's 17 trillion economy and South Africa's $400 billion economy require careful management. Border tension between India and China, though controlled, add complexity to cooperation. For sophisticated investors, BRICS represent more than country-specific opportunities. It's a bet on the fundamental restructuring of global economics. The demographic story alone is compelling. BRICS has 35% of population under 25 compared to G7's 22%, creating massive consumer market potential. Sector opportunities are enormous. Infrastructure investment need of $24 trillion by 2030. Technology convergence worth trillions in AI and blockchain. Energy transition requiring $130 trillion globally. Healthcare demand from aging populations, and financial services innovation in alternative payment systems. Geographic positioning matters. India offered demographic dividend and technology leadership. China, despite challenges, remains the world's largest consumer market. Brazil leads climate solutions and agricultural innovation. Russia, though sanctioned, controls critical energy resources. South Africa provides African market access. The currency diversification opportunity is particularly compelling. As dollar dominance slowly erodes, remember, the British pound took decades to lose reserve status. Early positioning in alternative currencies and systems could provide substantial returns. India's approach to BRICS deserves special attention because it demonstrates how to maximize benefits while minimize risk. While others choose sides during the Ukraine conflict, India chose opportunity. This wasn't fence-sitting but strategic brilliance. India simultaneously strengthened Western tie through Quad membership, $20 billion in US defense purchases, and semiconductor partnerships, while deepening BRICS relationship through energy security deals with Russia, technology cooperation, and local currency agreements. The results are remarkable. 6 to 7% GDP growth during global slowdown, $12 billion saved on Russian oil purchases, 23% annual services export growth, and $83 billion in foreign investment. For India, BRICS isn't just economics, it's civilizational resurgence. After 200 years of colonial subjection followed by Western dependency, BRICS offers authentic sovereignty. India's democratic credential, demographic advantages, technology leadership, and cultural soft power position it as the natural balancer within BRICS. By 2030, India could represent 25% of BRICS GDP, up from 15% today. With the world's largest workforce and leading AI capabilities, making it the bridge between East and West. Looking ahead, three scenarios emerge. The optimistic scenario, with 40% probability, sees successful currency union, China's dominance reducing to 55%, BRICS controlling 40% of world GDP, and cooperative competition with the West. The realistic scenario, with 50% probability, features gradual progress in financial integration, persistent Chinese dominance at 65%, strong regional influence limited in the West, and managed tension preventing major conflicts. The pessimistic scenario, with only 10% probability, involved internal fractures from major disagreements, Western sanctions fragmenting cooperation, economic divergence causing drift, and geopolitical conflicts overriding economic logic. Most indicators point toward the realistic scenario: steady progress with manageable challenges. The key factor will be managing China's dominance, resolving India-China tensions, maintaining economic complementarity, and adapting to external pressures. The technology factor could be decisive. Whichever bloc, Western or BRICS, achieves technological superiority in AI, quantum computing, and green energy will likely dominate the next economic era. BRICS represents more than economic statistics. It's the democratization of global power. For 500 years, a small group of Western nations shaped world affairs. BRICS signals the end of that monopoly. The historical parallel is clear. 16th to 18th centuries saw European colonial expansions. 19th to 20th century witnessed Western industrial dominance, and the 21st century is experiencing Asian resurgence and global South rise. Here is the provocative question that should concern every Western policymaker. What happens when 3.2 billion people decide they don't need Western approval to prosper? The answer is playing out in real time. From Shanghai's financial market to Mumbai's tech corridors, from Sao Paulo's commodity exchange to Moscow's energy deals, BRICS didn't set out to replace the West, they set out to create alternatives. Sometimes competition breeds innovation, sometimes alternatives become primary choices, and sometimes the future arrives faster than anyone expected. For investors, the message is clear. This isn't just about individual countries or sectors. It's about positioning for a fundamentally different global economic structure. The question isn't whether this matters to your portfolio. The question is, can you afford to ignore it? That's the BRICS story. Not just what it is, but what it represents. If this analysis changed how you view global economics, imagine what our deep dives into individual BRICS nations will reveal. Subscribe for insights that traditional media won't give you, and ring that notification bell, because in this rapidly changing world, information is your ultimate competitive advantage.